Good morning, students. Today I will teach about peace conference in Paris. Okay, the peace conference opened in Paris in January 1919, 2 months after the signing of the armistice. Woodrow Wilson from USA, Lloyd George, the Prime Minister of England, and Clemenceau, Prime Minister of France, played a very important part in the deliberations. Okay, then provisions of the treaty. First one, Germany was found guilty of starting the war and therefore was to pay reparations for the losses suffered. The reparation commission set up for deciding the compensation decided on 6,600 million pounds to be paid in installments. All central powers were directed to pay war indemnity. Okay, the first provision of the treaty. The next, second one, the German army was to be limited to 1 lakh men. A small navy was allowed, but there were to be no submarines and no air force. Okay, these are second one. Then third one, the union of Austria and Germany was forfeited, and Germany was to acknowledge and respect the independence of Austria. This is our third one. Then next, fourth one, Germany was forced to give up all the rights and titles over her overseas possessions to the Allies. All German colonies became mandated territories under the League of Nations. Okay, then fifth one, Germany was forced to revoke the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk with Russia and Bucharest, Bulgaria. Then sixth one, Alsace-Lorraine was returned to France. And seventh one, the former Russian territories of Finland, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania were to be independent. Okay. Then eighth one, Northern Schleswig was given to Denmark and some small district to Belgium. Next one. Then Poland was recreated with the corridor to the Baltic containing the German port of Danzig, which was to be a free city under the auspices of League of Nations. The next, 10th one, the Rhineland was to be occupied by the Allies. The area on the east bank of the Rhine was to be demilitarized. Okay? That's all over. The next, Russian Revolution and its impact. First, the introduction of the Russian Revolution. The biggest outcome of the war. The Russian Revolution was unique in the world history. The socio-political and economic conditions prevailing in the Russia were brought to a head by the vast losses and sufferings caused by the war. Okay? Then, causes of the revolution. First one, social causes. In Russia, Peter the Great and Catherine II attempted westernization without changing the social conditions. The Russian peasants were serfs tied to lands owned by wealthy Russians. After Russia's defeat in the Crimean War, some reforms were introduced. Okay, the first social causes. Then, role of revolutionaries. The spread of revolutionary ideas among the intelligentsia and their repression by the Tsar's government made the socialistically inclined students to carry their propaganda to the peasantry. Okay? Then, autocracy of the Tsar. Tsar Nicholas II of Romanov dynasty had little experience of government. His wife Tsarina Alexandra was a dominant personality and Nicholas was under her strong influence. Okay, then next, opposition to Tsar and dissolution of Duma. The members of the Jain Petersburg Soviet were arrested. Whenever the Duma opposed the Tsar's move, it was dissolved and fresh election held. Without change of government policy, the fourth Duma entered with the revolution of 1917. Okay? The next, abdication of Tsar. The government used the troops to break the strike, but soon mutinies broke out in the barracks. The Tsar ordered a declaration of martial law. Okay? Thank you, students. One more thank you.